How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Skinner from 1995. This movie was directed by Ivan Nagy and stars Ted Raimi, Traci Lords, and Ricki Lake. And overall, this is a really interesting and kind of bizarre movie. It does some stuff that I really like. It's very much an art house horror movie with that indie ambition. But yeah, there are large chunks of it that don't work and quite a few what am I watching moments. But I think in general the pros do outweigh the cons. We get Ted Raimi as the lead in a movie, which we don't get too often. He's playing a serial killer, and he does have some over-the-top moments. Traci Lords' character is a cool design. She's an antagonist to him, so kind of like a Loomis character. And there's also a bunch of cool shots that admittedly don't always cut together the best, but they did take some effort and try to pick some fun angles, and you can tell the director had probably seen a ton of giallo because get ready for some intense lighting. But yeah, it's far from perfect. And the biggest gripe I have with this is it was more about creating an atmosphere and not so much about a story, because once we kind of establish what's going on, there's not really enough of a sense of progression, you know? Skinner's kills get a little repetitive, Traci Lords takes forever to make any progress going after him, and I wish there was more twist or sequences or something happening here, but once it kind of lays out the portrait it wants to paint, it just does that and doesn't really take any twists or turns. There's also a few elements that I wished were pushed more. It really needed more comedy. I mean, you have Ted Raimi in the lead, and he has some funny parts, and this is like an Ed Gein parody, so he puts on his skin suit and he says, I think it's like, yeah, baby, and he runs around. He has some energy. They really needed to let that loose. And also, this is more of a serial killer movie than a slasher movie, and I really wish they had put a little more slasher in here and that we got more sequences and more fun and different kills, because again, the kills can get a little repetitive. There were definitely a few moments of, wow, what am I watching? This is a little weird, and I do appreciate things that are strange and bizarre, but I just wish more had happened in this movie. And yeah, there's definitely some indie movie roughness to this, but you know what? It's interesting and different, and I had fun with it. But yeah, definitely flawed. But if this sounds like something up your alley, if you like weird semi-art house indie horror movies and don't mind them being kind of flawed, it's definitely one that's worth checking out. But again, I do want to say, not perfect by any means. But in order to analyze this further, let's talk a bit about the plot. I'm not going to do any major spoilers, I don't want to ruin the ending or anything, but I do want to say my piece on a few plot points, break down and analyze a few things, so without further ado, let's take a deeper dive. We open up with this weird kind of art house sequence where Skinner's by some water. He has this weird thing with water in this movie, and we get a voiceover where Traci Lords is like, I'll get you, Skinner. And then we cut to him going to the new town where the movie is going to take place. Skinner is a drifter, and he finds a house with a room for rent. The woman there is having financial difficulties. Her husband is a truck driver who's absent most of the time, and when he comes back, he's not the nicest guy ever. So with him being absent and mean, and now there's someone new in her life, there's going to be a bit of romantic tension. She'll be kind of Ted Raimi's focus while he's in this new town. However, we find out quite quickly that Ted Raimi is a serial killer. He literally skins people, and his name is Skinner. Well, isn't that funny? And I will say really quick that making Skinner the main character as opposed to the woman running the boarding house may not have been the best choice, because if the woman was the main character, you would get this mystery where she's like uncovering what Skinner's doing, and plus her being innocent, she would be a lot easier to follow. But you know what? Instead of doing that, we're just gonna watch Ted Raimi kill a bunch of random people. And that is the thing, is some of the kills can be a little bit too minimal and also kind of repetitive. It's a lot of Ted Raimi going up to a prostitute, getting her somewhere private and then killing her. And there are some okay sequences, but it's not a slasher movie. And I wish we got better sequences in regards to Ted Raimi being the killer. There are a few ones that play out really well. In particular, there's one woman where as he's skinning her, he tells his origin story. This is one of the best sequences in the film. Skinner's origin story is super messed up, and Ted Raimi does a really good performance here, and I can't help but wish that more of the film was like this scene, that there was more to explore, but no. So Ted Raimi will get settled in, he'll get that job, he'll have some confrontations with the woman's truck driver husband, and we'll get to see him kind of adjusting to this new life. Well, while all this is going on, we have Traci Lord's character, and it's a character that I love the design of and I love the concept of. Traci Lords is a mysterious woman with a hat and half her face covered up by hair and a big trench coat, and she's wandering into town following Skinner, and we quite quickly see that she's missing sections of her skin. This is a former victim that's coming back to fight. It's a really cool idea, but that being said, she's way too close to death. A lot of the time she's slowly following after Skinner, and there's so many scenes where she's just in her hotel room wallowing in pain. I like the idea of the character, but it takes her forever to make any progress against Ted Raimi. And I will say, for whatever reason, there's a few shots in this movie where she's like plainly visible, and yet Ted Raimi doesn't see her. Just kind of a weird, odd side note. Naturally, eventually they will clash, and we will get Ted Raimi being more and more bold with his kills, and Traci Lords getting closer to actually stopping him. And there is some fun, bigger moments. Like I said, when Ted Raimi pulls out his Ed Gein skin suit and is running around in it, it's a super gross visual, but you can also tell Ted Raimi is being super energetic and is having a lot of fun with this character. And I really wish it leaned into the humor and more over-the-top slasher moments more, because when we see Ted Raimi do something really good, it is the better parts of this movie, and I wish we got more out of that. And yeah, this is one that I expected there to be more twist or more of the plot, and I expected just more to happen in here, but ultimately it is kind of shallow on the plot level. So like I said, I don't want to gripe too much. I love seeing Ted Raimi as a lead. I love a movie that tries something new and different. I like the concept of Traci Lord's character, and there was some fun moments and camera angles. I appreciate a lot of it, but yeah, it's hard to deny that there's not some broken pieces here. Overall though, an okay movie. I wish it was better, but for what it is, it's fun enough. And if this sounds up your alley, then it probably is. Anyway though, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. If you guys want to see more videos kind of like this, you can find them there. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very soon. Playlist here. Have a good day now.